Hello everyone, Dino Don here today with a update on what's been going on down here at the airport. As you can see, I'm not in my normal hangar today. I'm over at the flight school's hangar. Because we had the fly-in yesterday, the hangar I stay in is the hangar they set up all the tables for sitting and dining and such for the fly-in. So I had to move my plane over here. Greg from North Coast Aero was more than glad to let me keep it here again. I got to go over and check after I'm done today to see if they got the place cleaned up yet, but I was down here to do some work on the plane, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to just say thanks to the people that dropped by and talked to me yesterday during the fly-in. I was there for pretty much 6 hours from like 9 till 3 o'clock, and I had at least half a dozen people come up to me that follow my channel and come to meet and greet, and appreciate those folks stopping by. Sorry for not remembering names, but I can forget a name in 5 seconds, so sorry. But I did appreciate you guys stopping in and saying hi and letting me know that you're followers. So it was a great turnout yesterday. We had plenty of planes. It's not the best I've seen, but it was good considering the conditions. We had winds that were probably on my phone, the winds were supposed to have been like 16, gusting 28 yesterday out of the west, but it was pretty much down the runway, and the ceiling wasn't real high, but it was completely broken, mostly sunny, but you know, nice white clouds. But the winds were moving along pretty good, and they stayed pretty consistent for the day. But it was just standing there, it really helped out with the hot air, so it was actually pretty nice with that high breeze. And but I just taxied this over there, had it on display, and I took and wiped the whole plane down with some kind of UV protectant just to help it in that hot sunlight, because this thing, you can fry an egg on it when the sun's bearing down on it. But anyway, again, I want to thank everybody that dropped by and said the highs, and appreciated all that. So today, the last week when I was out here and I did the last test with the camera on the tail, I got the tail up, and it was slowly torque steering is basically what it was. It was steering to the right of the runway, because this is a counterclockwise rotating prop, so you have to hold left rudder on takeoff. And I was pretty much concentrating on the stick, you know, getting the stick down and getting the tail up, and with that. And then when the tail finally came up, playing with it, then then it was starting to drift a little much, so I got out of it. So, but the problem I've been having, now that I've been getting the tail off the ground, is the rudder just seems overly sensitive. I mean, you can't move the pedals, half an inch or an inch, and the thing is just going, sideways on me. So I know I went and looked at my prints to see what, if there was multiple positions on the rudder cable attach points. Back here in the tail, in order to bring the sensitivity down on the rudder, the horn back here that goes from this side to that side, it can't go any farther out. You'd have to hook the cable out farther, which will give you more leverage inside. It'll be more pedal travel with less rudder travel. Right now the rudder will swing plus 30 each way, and that's to the plans. But the pedal is moving also 30 degrees forward, 30 degrees aft to get to that full deflection. So one thing you can do is either move this attach point out farther, which makes the arm longer, and it changes the ratio from this to the pedal assembly. But I can't do it back here, because it'd stick out here, and the cable would be sticking out here. So, and we're only talking maybe half an inch is all we need to try. So, but I looked at my prints, and turns out the pedal assembly has 2 holes in it. So I come down, I figured, all right, it's got to be in the top position, because when I built this and set up the tail, I wanted maximum deflection. So here's Greg. No, that's not Greg. Somebody else. But anyway, just doing a video. So I come down to check it, and I remember hooking up an extension on the pedal assembly for the cable. And the problem was I couldn't get the adjustment out of the turnbuckle I needed. I was thinking they were, the cables were short, and I couldn't make them any longer without sacrificing the integrity of the turnbuckles. So I had made some brackets, but what I forgot that I did is I made this. So this little goober here pedal sits like this, and it's basically offset a whole inch here. And let me turn my camera on so I can see what I'm looking at. But this offset is an inch this way, and it's also an inch higher. So in turn, by having it hooked up here, this only has to travel a little distance, and the tail will travel a lot of distance. The normal hookups are these two holes here. So I was thinking I was hooked here, and I want to drop it to here. Well, this is a whole inch drop, and this is only a ½ inch drop. So by dropping it from here to here, it would change this deflection from +30, -30 to 35 degrees, because by moving closer to this hinge point here, you've got a smaller arc to deal with, so you have to push this farther. The tail will still travel the same amount of distance. It'll still go 30-30 if you don't have an interference with this hitting the firewall, you know, like that, or the pedal falling back too far like this and you can't push it back up. Sorry if I'm getting out of frame here, but this camera, the monitor turns off on you, but it keeps recording. So it does this number. So by dropping my cable from here to here 1 inch, that is going to reduce the sensitivity of the rudder by a lot. But I thought it was here, and I was going to move it to here. But now I know that it's here to here. Now I know why the thing is so sensitive. Because when I'm running this pedal in the plane, I'm just kind of going like this, and it's really over responding. So I'm taking these out, and I've got the other pedal in, hooked up to here. My concern was, again, this hitting the firewall. The master cylinder attaches here. I originally had it on here, but you don't get enough mechanical leverage. This is the correct leverage position for the distance from here and here and all that, but I think it was Matco Brakes that had a video on this, and I had it hooked out here, and then with the master cylinders I had originally, where they were 1 inch bore, and these brakes only call for a 5/8 inch bore piston on these calipers, masters. That made a big difference, because before, when you tried to push this brake, push down on the brake, it wouldn't move. It was so hard you couldn't push it, because they were designed for a much larger aircraft with bigger brakes, multi-puck brakes. So there's always should be some give in the pedal. Just like in your car, you step on the pedal and you've got a soft feel for a little while, and then it goes hard. This thing was hard right from the start. It wouldn't move, you know, a 1/4 of an inch. So that's why I ended up putting correct master cylinders in it and fixed that problem. But the problem with that one now is by moving this, I'll show you inside the plane what's going on. So I can't fix it today or here. Let me turn my camera back on so I can see. But as you can see down in here now, if I can get in here without getting my arm in the way of what I'm trying to show you, the pedal goes over center on the bottom right there. See how the bottom's doing that? And what I need to do is shorten up this point up here, this fork. But it's all the way screwed down as it is now. Sorry if that's in the way. But so I know I have, well, there was a couple of those forks that came with the original master cylinders, and they were basically a round, like a 1/2 inch round stock aluminum that were just drilled, threaded, and a slot cut in it to fit the caliper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one home. Let me pop this off real quick. 1 second, folks. But I'm going to take this pedal assembly home. Get this back on so I can see again. But these are the original holes for the plane. So I had modified it. But I was thinking they were here, and I was going to move it to here. So now I'm dropping it a whole inch. And then with the cable that was normally hooked back clear over here, now it's going to be here. So that means this is going to come forward another inch, which will help give me more leg room. So this will push the whole pedal assembly back. But I'm going to take it home and see if that new fork will fit on here, on the master cylinder, that it'll clear fine here. Otherwise, I may have to take, I'll take both of these steel ones home with me, so I can, if I have to modify anything for working, I already broke this one loose. Unscrew this real quick, because this is plenty long. But the other ones, like I said, they're just a simple round stock aluminum that are cut into a fork, just like this one. That's what came stock on them, but they were going to be too short to reach. So these ones are steel. So I'll take this home, and if I have to, I can trim some of this bottom off right here, because the threads go all the way up towards the top. They don't come all the way through, but I can run a tap through there to finish tapping it if the other ones are going to be too short, because hooking up to this pedal again, you may end up going too far like that with the pedal. Let me get this monitor on so I can see make sure you can see what I see. But with the shorter thing, it may put the pedal at an awkward angle. But the problem I'm seeing also is when I come back, because of the master cylinder, it's because the reason to lower these is to keep this thing from going over center like this, as you see that. So when it comes forward, it's going over center, and it could lock on me to where the cable won't go back. You'd have to consciously step on this to allow it to come back from over centering. So you make adjustment on one thing, it affects another. So, oh my God, it's muggy in here. I'm sweat dripping off me. I was looking to take it out and try it after I made this adjustment, but that's not the adjustment I got. So then I thought I may have to cut this off, but that's not going to be a problem. I can still cut them off just to get rid of this, but I don't think I'll ever have to need it, because this is just purely for brake pressure, brake feel, and multiplication of the force you need to apply. By this being the correct geometry, it'll give me the maximum force at the brakes there that you can do with your feet. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one home, take both of these home, just in case the aluminum one don't work, then I can modify both of these, bring them back, and put it all back together. The hardest part about getting this pedal out is there's a rod just like this one, a piece of aluminum here that goes through with cotter pins. And you can't take this cotter pin out because you can't come out this way. The frame of the airplane is right here. So you have to get to this one and spread it, open it up, pull it out, and get it out. And that was the hardest part, especially with the tank like that. I've still got probably 6-7 gallons or more in that tank, and you're talking, you know, there's a good 40 pounds, so that tank's pretty heavy. So what I may end up doing is bringing something to drain this tank, or I'll disconnect the lines, but somehow I either need to drain it or get it out of the way to make this work easier. I don't know that I'll come back today. Today is supposed to be the cooler day of the two. They were only calling for 80, but on the phone it's saying the actual feel is like 85 with the humidity, and it's muggy in this hangar today. So I'm going to go home, take both of these home, take this home so I can adjust it. I don't need to take the master cylinder because I know what's going to happen, what it's doing. I just need to shorten this up a little bit, and that'll keep this thing from going over center. Once it tries to go over center, if it's shorter like this, it won't do that over center as bad. So that's what I'm going to do today, folks. I was hoping to come back out, and I wanted to reattach. I took the pitot tube out because people walk through here, and I didn't want anybody snagging it, breaking it, or bending it. So I made it so it was removable just for that problem. So, but I'll try next time I get this out to test this new rudder adjustment. This way I'll be able to see the tail wheel, and I got the tape on there, so you'll be able to see that it's spinning good, and it'll be a little quieter here. I was really surprised at how noisy it was on the tail, because you're much closer to that noisemaker on the ground there. So it just vibrated. Even with my vibration mount, it was still a little crazy. So, all right, I think that's going to do it. I don't think I'll be back down tonight. I'm off Monday, Tuesday, so one of those, I think tomorrow is a chance of thunderstorms. Monday or Tuesday they're calling for a chance of thunderstorms, and it's supposed to be mid-80s and humid again. So, but at the very least, I want to get back in the next day or so, and after when I do, I'll do another video to summarize what I've done, and hopefully I'll be back over to hangar. I'm going to check over there before when I leave here. I have to drive all the way around the airport, come in the other entrance to go. You can't drive across the taxiway over to my hangar, which is over there. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything away, drop the tank in there, get my light out of there, throw this stuff all back in the car, go home and work on this stuff in my garage, and then I'll come back tomorrow or Tuesday with provisions to at least drain the tank so I can take it out. It's the only bad thing. I need to make a system to where I can literally, like the drain valve here, it's on the pressure side. It's on this side of the line for the water check. I figured because that's the water that's going to go to the engine, it'll drop out through there. But the problem is if I pull that drain, it's only going to drain here. It's not going to feed through the fuel pumps. It's got to go through the pumps up and out. So, and they don't self-drain, I don't believe. So it would be nice to have maybe put a four-way on here and add a separate line that I can use to drain it whenever I need to work on it, because working on it like this, propping it up, I still don't have a lot of room to play. When I did the pedal on that side, I flipped the tank the other way, so I just kind of flip it back and forth. So, alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Greg says it's not a problem keeping this here, so appreciate Greg's help on that. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw this stuff in the car, grab that other fork, make sure I got everything, put everything in the plane that I took out, close her up, and turn the power off, lock the door, and out we'll go. So, as always, folks, appreciate everyone taking the time to watch my videos. There's my camera. It's 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon, July 7th, as you can see. So, appreciate you guys watching these videos and following, and feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns. And in the future now, just to let everybody know, and if you give me an attitude or just harp on me about something, whether it's training, this or that, I'm not even going to respond to you guys. So you can post all you want, and if you get to be a pain in my butt, I'm just going to block your butt. So, no more hashing or crying and whining about stuff. So I'm going to do what I do, and if you don't like it, go find another channel, folks. That's all I can say. So, all right, I'm going now, so you guys take care, and I will see you on the next one. So for now, this is Dino Don out.